Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hebrew Senior Care's annual meeting. We're so delighted that so many community members, including residents from Hoffman Summerwood and their families, are able to join us tonight. At this time, I would like to introduce Rabbi Aaron Jaffe, who is the resident rabbi at Hoffman Summerwood. Rabbi Jaffe will lead us in a prayer and remember those residents from Hoffman Summerwood who have passed away this year. Thank you, Rabbi.
There we go. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Hanukkah Sameach. It's so nice to be here with you. It's my honor and my pleasure. We've been having such a wonderful Hanukkah here. Activities, the residents are exhausted from all the activities. Hi, let me hear an oi. Oi, you see? I didn't even pay them for that. So I wanted to start with an idea, a thought, a prayer, and then a final end thought. Won't take more than 35 to 60 minutes, so you're good. You're at home, you're comfortable, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay. According to Rabbi Heschel, Judaism is a religion aiming at the sanctification of time. Every hour is unique and the only one given at that moment, exclusive and endlessly precious. Judaism teaches us to be attached to holiness in time, to be attached to sacred events. One of the most distinguishing words in the Bible is the word kadosh, means holy, a word which more than any other is representative of the mystery and the majesty of the divine. The first time that the word kadosh is used is in the book of Genesis, at the end of the story of creation. How significant is the fact that it is applied to time, and God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. The words of the Psalms of the memorial prayer known as El Maleh Rachamim, O God of mercy, have the power to transport us back to the time of our loss. While back then, we may have experienced the numbness and disbelief, overwhelming well-wishers, or the whirl of just getting through it. Now we are taken back to remember our loss again. We who mourn today know that life can never be normal when there's an empty chair at the Summerwood table, no answer when the phone number is called, no birthdays to mark with joy. Rather, we grasp at the memories gone by, the blessings they bestowed upon us, our fortune to have had the privilege to share their golden years. Days of remembrance serve to open the wound. We affirm God as the true judge. We long to close the wound, to bring closure to our suffering. The fact is, however, that the ability to close our suffering is as likely as it is to return the torn clothing at burial to its original state. Rather, we make room in our lives for our mourning. We accommodate our new reality, and we find safety in our community that remains as we share the bond of sadness. Before we turn to the written words of El Maleh Rachamim, we will say the names of our Summerwood family members who were returned back to their maker. May they rest in peace. So first we're going to say the El Maleh Rachamim in Hebrew. Then we will read it translated in English and put in and insert the names of the residents who passed this year. So it is customary to stand for El Maleh Rachamim. If you can, please do. If you can't, then I'll pretend you are. Oh, that's all right. El Maleh Rachamim Shochein B'Meromim Hamtzeh Menucha Nechona Al Kanfei Ashchina B'Ma'alot Kedoshim U'Tehorim Zohar Rakia Mazhirim Et Nishmotehem Shenargu Hashana V'Shalchu Le'olamam Ba'avur Shenitpalel Be'ad Haskarat Nishmotehem Began Eden Tiyeh Menuchatam Lachein Ba'al HaRachamim Yastirem B'Seite Kinafav Li'olamim B'Yitzror Achayim Et Nishmotehem Adonai Hu Nachalatam V'Yanuchu B'Shalom Al Mishkavotehem V'Nomar Amen. O God, full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant proper rest on the wings of the divine presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and the pure ones, who shine like the glow of the firmament, for the souls of Lois Bauer, Joseph Cohen, Paul Cohen, Sheila Cohen, Marjorie Gassner, Betty Gluskin, Beverly Goldbass, Judy Homar, David Kravitz, Raina Meltzer, Devora Rubin, Barbara Ruderman, Roger Sachs, Maxie Trambert, and Fran Weiner, who went to their world. We remember them and their souls. May their resting place be in the Garden of Eden. Therefore, may the Master of Mercy shelter them in the shelter of his wings for eternity, and may he bind their souls in the bond of life. God is their heritage, and may they repose in peace on their resting places. Now let us say, Amen. Mel Gerald and Mel Gerald. May he be with God. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. We are in the middle of Hanukkah, 8 days of the miracle of light. May God, in our time of darkness and suffering, remember us once again as we remember our departed, and provide light, a light which will illuminate our hearts and shine in our lives every day, with everlasting peace, health, and unity upon our community and upon our global community. Amen. Happy Hanukkah.
And now we'll hear from Deb Kleiman, our chairman.
Thank you, Rabbi. I recently read a relevant article in the Jerusalem Post, 7 Principles of Jewish Leadership. I would like to spend a few moments to discuss those principles that I believe were most significant in Hebrew Senior Care's success. One principle of leadership states that no one can lead alone. Even Moses was told by his father-in-law Jethro that leading alone was not good. Leadership is truly a team sport and undoubtedly played a significant role in our success. As many of you know, during the past year, we closed our medical hospital unit and converted it to a 16-bed behavioral unit, giving us a total of 38 behavioral health beds dedicated to seniors. In order to change our hospital license and raise the necessary funds for the construction of this unit, an incredible amount of teamwork was required. Throughout this effort, professionals, lay leaders, and community members worked side by side to solve the immediate challenges, all while envisioning the future we could create. I would like to thank the Jewish Federation and the Jewish Community Foundation for their unwavering dedication and extraordinary support throughout our journey. We are truly grateful for your commitment to our agency. I would also like to acknowledge the following community leaders who were vital to our team and committed to preserving the 119-year-old institution. Henry Zaks, Bob Goldfarb, Jeffrey Hoffman, Gary Greenberg, Irving Moy, and Rick Robinson. Hebrew Senior Care would not have realized its future without their loyalty to our community and our agency. Teamwork truly was and is the lifeblood of our salvation. Another principle in the article states that leadership is about envisioning the future. Thanks to our president and CEO, Denise Peterson, and her leadership team, there is now a clear vision for our future and a desire to get there as quickly as possible. It is this clear vision that enabled the community to rally around our organization during the past year, making our success possible. Our goal in 2021 is to work together with our board, staff, and community leaders so we can begin to develop a strategic plan to further define our future. As I enter my fourth and final year as chair of Hebrew Senior Care's board, and to my husband who is watching on Zoom with all of us, yes, my final year, I am confident that the principles I have mentioned tonight have truly contributed to our success. This includes one principle that I have not yet mentioned, the principle which states that leadership is stressful and emotionally demanding. However, as I have witnessed with a strong team of professionals, an engaged board, and dedicated community leaders, today there is more hope than stress, and therefore more good days than bad. I am so proud of everything that has been achieved this year. And with that, it gives me great pleasure to turn the program over to our president and CEO, Denise Peterson, who will share more details about the past year.
Thank you, Debbie. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. If you asked us last year at our annual meeting if we would all be home or doing a Zoom call that no one even knew what Zoom meant except from the song Zoom Zoom, we would never predict that we would be in this situation. Having said that, I would like to welcome you all to our annual meeting. It is no coincidence that our annual meeting is during the week of Hanukkah, a holiday that we believe parallels many of our own challenges and successes. The themes of freedom, triumphs, and miracles in Hanukkah certainly align with our past year. The message of Hanukkah is to declare the miracle of light. The small flask of pure oil that could last only one day lasted 8, proved that a miracle truly happened. Like the Maccabees who were immersed in a battle on several fronts, the year of 2020 held similar challenges, not only for Hebrew Senior Care, but for the world. We began the year with much excitement and enthusiasm. As Debbie mentioned, we accomplished something that many for many years said could not be done. That achievement was changing our hospital license, allowing us to expand our behavioral health beds, our gold standard of services that have been provided here at Hebrew Senior Care for more than 15 years. We knew this accomplishment was critical to the viability of our organization. We also knew that this would not be an easy task. However, we were ready for the challenge. One of our greatest hurdles was approval from National. To proceed with our construction, we needed approval from Marvin. Facing resistance, we knew we needed to act quickly, and without hesitation, leaders in our community came to our rescue. Jeffrey Hoffman, Rick Robinson, Bob Goldfarb, Gordon Lewis, and Henry Zaks all worked tirelessly to reach a compromise with National. Mission accomplished. Thank you. We are so grateful for your dedication and support, and all on your own time. Thank you so much. With that approval came a monumental task, of raising $1.2 million for construction. Madeline quickly met the challenge with vigor, enthusiasm, and excitement. With the support of so many in the community who believed in us and our vision, they passionately joined us and greatly contributed to our success. At this time, we would like to thank some very special individuals. Jacob Schreiber, president of the Jewish Community Foundation, along with his board that supported us during every twist and turn, including providing us with a significant grant for our construction project. Henry Zacks, who was by our side throughout the entire project. He led by example, securing enterprise builders for the construction, reviewing our architectural plans, intently making hundreds of solicitation calls. Henry became indispensable throughout the year. We want to thank Henry and his entire family for their dedication to the community and for their generous support to our agency. While we had overcome so many impediments, it was only the beginning. As the project commenced in earnest in February, little did we know the virulence that I call the evil that was simmering below the surface, an infamous virus that would change our world as we know it forever. Though the construction was moving along, we were required to cease and desist construction immediately due to the outbreak of COVID. Although our team felt defeated, we knew we needed to forge ahead. Although we considered this a setback, we were confident that we could overcome this, as we had done so many times before. Without hesitation, Chris Cloud, Eric Zacks, and Irving Moy were by our side once again. We sought their assistance in guiding us support with the Department of Public Health to weed through the bureaucracy, going straight to the highest level. By rapidly expanding our behavioral health beds, we knew in our hearts that we could positively impact the community and this outbreak of COVID-19 by relieving the acute care hospitals of their overburdened emergency room beds. We knew that this would be a great success. The leadership at the Department of Health also agreed with us. And immediately within 24 hours, Barbara Cass called me to resume construction. We were thrilled. As we were nearing completion of this construction, again, another hurdle was to be had. Due to the pandemic, the inspection and licensure were going to be delayed. Hence, we knew we couldn't admit patients. Once again, Irving Moy came to our rescue. He provided us with his expertise and knowledge. He volunteered to act as a liaison with the Department of Public Health to unburden them. Due to his efforts, we had a successful state survey. To our astonishment, the unit opening was a much greater success than we had anticipated. We rapidly went from a census of 18 to 34. What a wonderful story. But once again, as 2020 would go, we were faced with yet another challenge. Now that we had 34 patients, we couldn't discharge anyone. The state was in a pandemic and a lockdown, and we couldn't discharge our patients back to their homes, back to their assisted livings or long-term care facilities. As we worked through these challenges of hospital gridlock, at the same time, we faced a limited supply of what is now known as PPE, protective personal equipment. We were actually going to take gowns, Dr. Panula and myself and Marcia, and sew them backwards, the white lab coats. So we once again reached out to our community, an amazing community, and through the efforts of David Warren of the Jewish Federation and Debbie Kleinman, our board chair, we received 5,000 gowns and masks from Israel. We couldn't be more grateful and thankful. This was a gift. This was a gift in preventing the spread of the virus throughout our hospital, a gift in keeping our staff and our patients safe. While the hospital expansion was a success, now our senior daycare was forced to close. This was a very emotional and sad time for our community and for the elderly patients who rely on us for their activities of daily living. Their families were now faced with the challenge of caring for their loved ones in a home environment. Concurrently, nowhere was the pandemic felt more acutely than our Hoffman Summerwood community, as the governor placed an emergency executive order to quarantine all assisted living residents, forcing them to isolate in their apartments. The culture this created was counterintuitive to our entire philosophy. Hoffman Summerwood is a place where residents live to experience the joy from being in the company of others in the Jewish community. This was taken away from them. They were forced into isolation. Unable to see their loved ones, our staff now became their families. They worked tirelessly with dedication and compassion in order to create a sense of normalcy. Residents and staff had to adjust to the many what we call the new normals. We focused on the health and well-being of each resident, recreating smaller scaled activities while reassuring family and residents that they were safe. As the pandemic unfolded, restrictions and regulations changed daily, which was a challenge for us. The environment now consisted of weekly COVID testing, checking temperatures, a single entrance, wearing masks, finding ways to communicate and stay connected to loved ones, residents, and family members. While this year presented so many unprecedented challenges, we could not be prouder of our staff. Each day, without hesitation, they risk their own health and safety to care for our patients, our residents, and our families. As the pandemic has impacted everyone in our community and our world, and as we celebrate Hanukkah, we think about the resilient light that shined longer and brighter than anyone ever anticipated. We are pleased beyond belief that we have a resilient light, the light of science, brilliant individuals who produced a vaccine in unprecedented time to begin to eradicate the devastation of this virus. In the coming weeks, our residents and staff will have the opportunity to take the vaccine, thanks to the partnership with Omnicare, CVS, CDC, and the Department of Public Health. Hanukkah is derived from the Hebrew verb to dedicate. It is through the dedication of our staff, our physicians, our board, and our community that we were able to preserve the health and safety of our residents and our patients. There are not enough hours in the day to thank each individual who made our impact or had an impact on our success, whether directly or indirectly, selflessly dedicating themselves each day to our mission. From the Hebrew Senior Care Board and myself, we want to extend a very special thank you to our leadership team. We couldn't have done it without you. Debbie talked about leadership. There's no I in leadership, it's we. Without their loyalty, commitment, passion, every day since the outbreak of this pandemic and all year, they were by our side. I'd like to recognize some of them: Madeline, Lisa, Debbie, Candace, Stacy, Dr. Panula, Dr. Panula's medical team, Dr. Cooper, Dr. Cooper's medical team, Grizel, Karen, Corey, Kathy, Rabbi Jaffe, Sophia, Jay, Marcos, Sally, Gina, Amanda. To all of you, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We did an amazing job through this pandemic, and we will continue to keep everyone safe. I would like to take a moment to especially recognize a very special person who stood by her side, listened during times that were stressful, and was always there for us, and that's Debbie Kleiman. Her continuous support, her leadership, her devotion to Hebrew Senior Care. And Deb, I had 3 years, I guess it's been 4, for taking on the role of chair as 4 years. She was by our side every step of the way. We knew we could always count on her, and we thank you so much for that, Debbie. And Steve, to you, thank you for supporting Debbie through these times. I know we leaned on you too for your advice, and you've been a great partner and husband, and thank you for letting Debbie take on this role. We really needed her, so thank you. This is a year to reflect on our values, our core beliefs, and what we treasure and what we are most grateful for in life. They say it's how you handle the difficult times that define you. I'm proud to say that Hebrew Senior Care has demonstrated courage, resilience, tenacity, and strength through these difficult times. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and 2020 certainly has many words associated with it. But we'd like you now to sit back and relax. For those of you who have wine, coffee, or water, enjoy a video that truly demonstrates our beautiful community. Following the video, there will be a quick installation of officers. And again, thank you everyone, and wishing you a wonderful, healthy, peaceful holiday season. And we hope to get everyone back to hugging their loved ones and visiting their family members in the hospital soon. And we will work tirelessly until we can reach that goal. Thank you. Great.
It's hard not to smile after watching that video. It makes me realize just how much we've accomplished despite the craziness of this year and COVID. Madeline and Sophia, thank you for the wonderful job that you did on that video. So now we come to the point where I'm going to turn this meeting over to Merritt McDonough, who probably you will realize is wearing short sleeves because with the power of Zoom, he is joining us from Florida. And Merritt will be giving the governance report.
Yes, first off, thank you so much. That's a really tough act to follow, and that was absolutely wonderful. Without the future leadership of this board, we wouldn't be able to continue all the good work that we're doing. So tremendous meeting, really good feedback. And kind of before I go into the nomination of the few new board members, I would be really remiss if I didn't thank the leadership as well. What a great work you've done. You've helped those that we serve. Denise, Madeline, Lisa, Debbie. I'm not quite sure that you're done, Debbie, but maybe not. But thank you all for joining. And on behalf of the governance committee, I'd like to thank the members of the committee for their hard work. Chris Cloud, Barbara Fernandez, Mark Seltzer, and Debbie Kleinman. I'd also like to recognize those board members that are cycling off the board: Rick Robinson, Alan Lazowski, and Chris Cloud. Their commitment to our agency and their support throughout the many years that they've served have made it possible that we're here today to be as successful as we are. We really are grateful for all their service in the past. Your community service, not only to this organization, but to all those in the greater Hartford area, are tremendous, and we're really grateful. At this time, I'd like to nominate the 3 new board members who will be fulfilling a 3-year term. Pamela Atwood, who hopefully you all know. She's the owner and principal of Dementia Consulting Group. Michael Bloom, who's the current president and CEO of JFACT, and Carlos Salmon, the founder and managing director of Kuros Wealth Management. Let's all happily raise our hands if you're in support of them becoming part of the board. So I can't see, but I'm assuming that most hands are raised. So I would like to suggest that that those 3 people that are looking forward to serving this community are welcome to this organization. Great. All right. Thank you very much. That does my easy part. But thank you all for all that you've done and for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Merritt. I wanted to personally thank Pam, Michael, and Carlos for joining our board. I wish we could be doing this in person and we could be personally introducing you to everyone, but you've got 3 years, so we'll make sure that happens. I truly look forward to working with all 3 of you and having you learn more about our agency during your 3-year term. I would also like to thank all the members of our board who have worked tirelessly this past year to continue the incredible progress that Heber Senior Care has made. Thank you, everyone. Many of you may have already lit your Hanukkah candles tonight, including our Summerwood community. But before we leave our annual meeting, we would like you to join us in lighting our Hanukkah candles together. I will now turn the program over to Rabbi Jaffe.
Oh, he's got to unmute. He's not unmuted.
Rabbi, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Sophia.
You're muted if you could let us hear you.
I don't think he can. He's so intently lighting, he doesn't know. Sorry, guys. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Rabbi.
Give us a voiceover.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be disappointed himself.
That's pretty good if that's the only glitch we've had.
Now consider it. He's going to want to do it again.
Maybe he'll realize when he comes
Yeah.
forward.
He will now. Rabbi,
Uh-oh, you didn't hear it.
not a word.
No. Want us to do it again?
Moses came down twice. It's okay. Do-
Unmute button.
Thus the miracle of technology.
There we go. The challenges.
Yeah, exactly. Deb,
Are we turning it back over to me?
I think so. I think so.
Do you want us to sing a song?
I think we're good.
You're good?
Thank you, Rabbi, and thank you
Rabbi.
to all of the residents who participated. We really appreciate it. So I guess our greatest Hanukkah gift that we could give you is keeping our annual meeting short and sweet. We know that everyone is probably growing tired of this way of communicating. We all long to be together in person, to be able to hug again. But we really appreciate everyone being here this evening. We thank you for joining us tonight and celebrating the miracle of this wonderful community. The light is truly shining brightly at Hebrew Senior Care, and we couldn't have done it without all of you. Thank you so much, and have a good night. That ends our program.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you and happy Hanukkah.